Hey guys, Norkly here. Are you looking for a video to get your BM800 to sound amazing for your online karaoke / singing streams? Don't have phantom power or an audio interface, but still want to make your BM800 sound like this?
Let's take it nice and easy. It's gonna be so easy for us to fall in love.
Then you've come to the right place. This is my ultimate guide to making sure that your BM800 sounds amazing for your online karaoke / singing streams without any phantom power, without any audio interface, just plug straight to your PC. Let's get it started. So for this video, we're going to be talking about configuring your BM800 for singing / karaoke streams. Some of you may actually have seen my original BM800 video, but that video was fully focused on making your BM800 sound like a DJ microphone, and it was primarily focused on streaming / podcasting content creators. But this one is for people who want to use it for singing and karaoke. I've seen the comment section. A chunk of you guys actually wanted this type of video out, so I finally came around to doing it. Almost 1 year, but hey, better late than never. Now this video comes with a couple of disclaimers. We're going to be focusing on people who do karaoke / singing streams / recordings on a PC. This is not going to be a mobile tutorial. Also, we are going to be focusing on OBS as a recording or streaming tool, and we're not going to be covering Audacity or Adobe Audition. Let me know in the comment section down below if you want to see a mobile version of this or a version with Audacity or Audition. All right, let's get the video started. If you've watched my other videos, you'll know that I talk about the signal chain. And signal chain might sound like a big word, but it's really simple. It's basically how you get the input, which is your the sound of your voice in your microphone, to your output, which is how it plays on your speakers and your headphones. Now, bear with me a bit, this is gonna be a bit technical, but this will serve as the bird's eye view of our video today. So this is how our signal chain will look like. We will of course start with the microphone, the BM800. I will teach you how to physically set it up, from the microphone orientation to the shock mount and other tips and tricks. Then we will be working with Lighthost, right? So you'll need to actually connect your microphone to a software called Lighthost, which is basically a software that allows you to host VSTs or virtual studio technology plugins. Basically, VSTs are what you use when you want to add effects and other things. If you've played around with OBS or actually play around with digital audio workstations and the like, you'll be familiar with this. But for those who have not encountered the concept of VSTs yet, it's basically similar to the pedal board of your guitar. So I'm sure if you've been to a gig, you've seen a guitar person using an electric guitar. He actually has a pedal board that he steps on, right? So the VSTs are basically the pedal boards, and they basically transform the signal from the electric guitar to the amp. And the actual board that the pedals are attached to, that is Lighthost. So we're gonna be talking about that for this video. I'm gonna talk about installing, how to install VSTs, and also configure the Reverb plugin that I really like. After this, we're gonna route it to Voicemeeter so that we can have some equalization. And then we are going to talk about OBS. Now, the reason why the signal chain is set up this way, like for example, why do I need the VSTs at the second part, at Lighthost, instead of using VSTs in OBS? Thing is, I know that a lot of you guys are using different types of software like Adobe Audition, Audacity. So using Lighthost means that you can replace whatever software that you want to use and still have that effect. So if you want to have maybe an auto-tune or the echo effect, and you want to use, instead of OBS, Discord or Zoom or whatever software you want to use, you can actually have the VST running and your voice will be transformed using that. Alternatively, you can easily install the VSTs on OBS or whatever software that you use, and that's fine. But I want to teach you guys the method that will allow you to use the VSTs and the effects that you want to use on your voice with other software. Alright, now let's set up the BM800. First, of course, you need your BM800. So this is the one, the legendary BM800 microphone. You're also gonna need a couple of things like the shock mount, very useful to make sure that you don't really make a lot of noise when you hit the boom arm or the microphone. You'll need a boom arm. So this is actually my boom arm. This is the Rode PSA 1, but you don't need to have this kind of heavy duty boom arm for your BM800. I just need it because I use the Rode Procaster. And then you're also going to need either a windscreen or a pop filter. All right, so first thing that you're gonna want to do is you take your boom arm and you're gonna wanna screw this thing over like so. And then the next thing you're gonna wanna do is mount your BM800 on that shock mount. Okay, now here's the thing. I've seen some people actually use the mic like this. Okay, use the mic like this. You're not supposed to use it like this. The BM800 is a side address microphone. It's not a top address microphone. And the way that you know the right way to address it is to speak on the side with the logo. And as you can see there, the flat diaphragm is facing the same way as the logo. So you make sure that the BM800 is visible or at least facing you when you're setting it up. Please, if you're a Norco subscriber, I don't want to see you guys speak on top of the microphone. It's not a top address microphone, it's a side address microphone. The next thing that you're gonna want to do is choose between a pop filter or a windscreen. This is another thing that I've seen. Either people use two at the same time. They use this and then this. Here's the thing, you only need to use one. Choose either the windscreen or the pop filter. I would recommend the windscreen if there's just electric fans and you can't do anything about the air currents in your room. So try this one kind of protects your microphone all over the place. The second is also reason why I recommend this and I prefer this is because it doesn't really cover your face a lot. However, I do know that from different tests, you can check Podcastage, he did a couple of tests there, that in general, pop filters actually perform better than windscreens. Now, if you use both of them at the same time, the problem will be you're going to be cutting out a lot of the higher frequencies. So you're going to be changing the tone of your voice, and you don't want to do that. So once you've chosen either this or this, just configure it, set it up here. I'm going to mount it on my desk, but I'm not gonna set it up yet. I'm going to set it up later when we are testing it. But just choose either one of these, either a windscreen or a pop filter. Now let's get on to installing Lighthost. Alright, so for this part of the video, we're going to be a bit technical, but please bear with me, it's going to be worth it. But before we continue, we actually need to download some prerequisite software. So let's go to the desktop view so that I can show you properly. Alright, so the first thing that you'll need to download is to make sure that you have Voicemeeter. It's here, VB Audio/Voicemeeter. By the way, all of the things that I will be showing here on screen, all the links will be put in the description below. The next thing that you will need is VB cable. Basically, it's actually creating a software cable that allows you to put inputs and outputs. So you can plug things into the Voicemeeter. Basically, that's what I would describe it as. The next thing that you'll need to download is Lighthost. You know, it's not going to be very intuitive. You're going to be pointed to a GitHub page, but I would just recommend that if you're using 32-bit Windows, download Lighthost 1.1, 2.1 win32.zip, or if you're using a 64-bit machine, download the other file. The next thing that I'd want you to download is Orilriver. It is a VST plugin that is what I will be using for this video to introduce Reverb. Alright, by now I hope that you've already downloaded and installed Voicemeeter, as well as VB audio cable, plus have downloaded the two other files that I've told you, Lighthost as well as Orilriver. Now I have Lighthost and Orilriver here already enabled, and this is how you install them. For Lighthost, just double click this or use a software like 7-Zip, and then make sure to just simply extract this folder. Like I'll just extract the folder where it is. So Lighthost, like so. And basically, all you need to do is just double click this, Lighthost, and it should be running. For it to be running, what you'll need to see is you'll see this icon here at the bottom right at the system tray, and then you should be able to see it. Now for Orilriver, the installation is actually even more simple. these are the actual entire plugins, right? The Orilriver X86 and Orilriver X64. What you'll need to do is to create a folder at your C program files / common files / VST plugins. Just create a folder called VST plugins. That's usually the default path that different types of software will search for VST plugins in. So just create that path and just extract both of these plugins to the address here. So I paste it here, but since I've already copied and pasted it there, no need to extract it. And basically, you already have Lighthost and you've already installed Orilriver. Now, here's how to load the plugins. What you need to do is left-click the tray icon, go to Edit Plugins, and then you can go Options, and you can scan for new and updated VST plugins, and then you just select the folder that you installed it to. So what I did was scan C program files, common files, VST plugins, and you scan there. All right, and then you can also do the same way here, and then we can do C program files, common files, VST plugins, like so. There you go. So we have the Orilriver, the VST, and the VST3 plugins. And basically, once that's been detected, you go back here again, left click it, and then just select the VST3 plugin or the VST plugin that you'd want to use. So I prefer Orilriver, and basically you've already installed, your plugins are already active. Now, in terms of routing it, this is what you'll need to do. You'll need to go for your input to be your microphone, right? So for example, BM800, you have to select that microphone here, and in the output, just select the VB audio virtual cable. And if it's working, if you've selected the right device, this should be moving. All right? Okay. Now, here's the thing. When we add reverb, this is the reverb setting that I actually prefer. I would prefer to go to Vocal Hall, reduce room size to 32 or thereabouts to 32, and then early reflection should be -6 and reverb should be -6 as well. This is my favorite setting to use, and you can use these settings for your general purpose singing. Now, I don't want to get into the different types of setting here, like early reflections, reverbs, pre-delay, diffusion, etc., etc. I would encourage you to research it, but if you want me to make an in-depth video about reverb, let me know in the comments down below. Now, another feature that I want to point you guys to is this button right here. If you click this, left click this, if it's not green, it means that this reverb setting is off. So if you don't need the reverb, just access this and then turn it off. If you need it on again, just turn it on. All right, for this section of the video, we are going to be talking about how to configure Voicemeeter. Now, if you recall, we've already configured Lighthost. Our microphone now is actually routed to Lighthost, and Lighthost is outputting to Voicemeeter virtual cable. Now, for us to plug in Lighthost, we need to select it here in the hardware input and just select Voicemeeter output. There you go. You should be hearing something. And then you should select any output that you're not using at the moment. So, for example, Realtek digital output. This is the SPDIF output behind the motherboard, but I like to use the monitor because I don't really use any audio there. And if you've configured it properly, you should be seeing your levels move. So right now I'm using my lavalier microphone. It's not connected to the Voicemeeter. However, my BM800 is actually plugged in and running. So hello, hi. So it is actually picking up my voice and it's properly routed. Now, if you guys watched my dedicated video on Voicemeeter, I basically configured my Voicemeeter to make my BM800 sound boomier and more DJ-like, to have a bit more presence. Now, when you're EQing for karaoke, you don't actually want your voice to be boomy. You don't want it to be boomy. You actually want it to be more sibilant. Now, sibilance means it's the frequency range here near the upper middle and the high ranges, which is around 2,500 to 8,000 or to 10,000 kilohertz. You want this to be more emphasized, and this was actually the configuration, and I've given you guys the file in my previous video that you can use. But I've actually tuned my own custom setting for my karaoke. So what I just did was I just reduced the bass frequencies and kept everything as is, so that the actual sibilants, the higher and the high end and the mids from my voice will be more pronounced. So that is what I recommend. By the way, if you want to try out my settings, I'm also going to upload this file on a Google Drive so that you can download it and test it for yourself. I also would recommend that you test your own voice and also EQ your own voice. Our voices are very different, all right? So if you want your voice and your voice to really pop out through equalization, I would recommend that you would equalize your voice, spend a couple of hours to tune and equalize Voicemeeter so that it can really make your voice stand out. And if you need help with equalization, just check out my video. Link will be in the description below. Now that we've configured Voicemeeter, let's start configuring OBS. Right now, we have OBS here on my screen, and it's currently picking up the audio from my lapel mic, which is routed through my dedicated audio interface called the GoXLR Mini. But we want to start hearing the BM800, and this is what you need to do. Right-click the mic/auxiliary section here, go to Properties, go to this drop-down menu here on Device, and then select Voicemeeter Output, which is what we have been using since a while ago on Voicemeeter, and press OK. And when I click that Voicemeeter option, my voice should already be echoing. It should have some reverb already. And if you want to test it, you just go and click here in recording. And if you listen to the recording, you should be hearing your voice with reverb, and that's when you know you have been able to configure it properly. Now, other things that I would like to point out, let's go to the filters. These are the filters that I walked through in my original BM800 video. However, the only thing that I will recommend to enable is compressor. I wouldn't recommend a noise gate because there might be instances in your singing where you'll need to be very soft. You'll need to have, your dynamic range. You need to be soft, then you need to be really loud. The noise suppression actually changes the tone. It introduces artifacting, and it makes your voice sound a bit robotic. So I wouldn't use noise suppression. Compressor, I would change it so that I would just use a compression ratio that is around maybe between 2 to 4:1 ratio. And you could just copy the settings right here, and it should be fine, so that it doesn't aggressively compress your voice and change the tone. Having like a subtle compression ratio means that your voice will still sound quite natural. So the only thing that I would recommend is compressor and maybe gain. If you're not happy with the volume that the BM800 currently has, you can just increase the gain. You can just add as much as possible as you want, and then you should be good. But right now, the only thing that I would recommend is actually compressor. And there you go, guys. Basically, it's been configured. And if you want to use it for other software like Discord, you just need to set it to Voicemeeter output as well.
Hey guys, Editor Norkel here, and I forgot to point something out as I was editing it. I realized that during my BM800 testing, I experienced a bit of a delay, and that's the problem if you're using software equalization. Since it's very CPU dependent, since it's software based, there's going to be a slight delay. If you find yourself in this situation, you can actually sync up your desktop and your voice like this. So I would right click microphone and auxiliary section, click on advanced audio properties, and add a 125 millisecond sync offset to your desktop audio. Now, 125 milliseconds I've found in my testing to be the best one. It virtually eliminated any sync issues between my desktop audio or my backing track and my voice. But in case your setup is different and your delay is different, start with 125 as a base, and then increase it or decrease it as you see fit. Let's get on with the video.
Now that we've configured everything, why don't we test out the setup that we have put together? Quick disclaimer, I'm really not a singer. I'm only doing this so that I can test it and show you guys properly how it will sound like in different situations. What I'm gonna do is, first song will be Bleed It Out by Linkin Park to demonstrate the configuration and how it sounds
with rapping, with songs that are rap heavy. And I will also do Nice and Easy by Frank Sinatra, which is more melodic and it's singing and a big band. And let's see how my settings sound. Yeah, here we go for the 100th time. Hand grenade pins in every line. Throw them up and let something shine. Going out of my freaking mind. Filthy mouth, no excuse. Find a new place to hang this noose. String me up from atop these roofs. Knot it tight so I won't get loose. Truth is you can stop and stare. Bled myself out and no one cares. Dug the trench out, laid up there with a shovel. About to reach somewhere, yeah. Someone pour it in. Make it a dirt dance floor again. Say prayers and stomp it out. When they bring that chorus in, I bleed it out. Digging deeper just to throw it away. I bleed it out. Digging deeper just to throw it away. I bleed it out. Digging deeper just to throw it away. Just to throw it away. Just to throw it away. I bleed it out. Go stop the show. Choppy words in a sloppy flow. Shotgun opera, lock and load. Cock it back and then watch it go. Mama help me, I've been cursed. Death is rolling in every verse. Candy paint on his brand new hearse. Can't contain him, he knows he works. Freak, this hurts, I won't lie. Doesn't matter how hard I try. Half the words don't mean a thing, and I know that I won't be satisfied. So why try ignoring him? Make it a dirt dance floor again. Say your prayers and stop it out when they bring that chorus in. Let's take it nice and easy. It's gonna be so easy for us to fall in love. Hey baby, what's your hurry? Relax and don't you worry. We're gonna fall in love. We're on the road to romance, that's safe to say. But let's make all the stops along the way. The problem now, of course, is to simply hold your horses. To rush would be a crime, 'cause nice and easy does it every time.
The things I do for all you guys. If you guys want to hear the full versions of those covers, let me know in the comments down below. And can I please get a sheesh for the singing that I did here in this video. And that's it, guys. I hope that I was able to help you guys. If you have any questions, just make sure to write down on the comments below your questions and I'll see if I can answer them. Also, don't forget to join my Discord. I'll leave the link down in the description below. And make sure to message stream support. Don't ping me directly. I prefer that you ping stream support so that other people can read your questions and we can all learn together. By the way, if you really enjoy this content, don't forget to subscribe and also hit that notification bell because I do have some more useful videos that are in the pipeline. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. My name is Norkla. Lahat tayo angat. All rise.